It's snow. That's a good amount of snow. But we have finally got to the point where we get to go on the trail. So we're in the Adirondacks this weekend. It's Kurt and myself. We are staying at the lodge like we have before. I really like basing my trips up here out of that area. But drove up this morning, took some time setting up camp, and took care of a few other odds and ends, and now it's time for a little bit of hiking. Not sure what this area has to offer. We just kind of quickly put together a list of trails that were possibilities to hike, and this was one of them for like a shorter thing. So that's where we're at. And yeah, there's these options available to us. So we don't know what we're gonna do. I believe, yeah. So right here is supposed to be a suspension bridge. Looks like it doesn't go on the trail. Actually, that might be the suspension bridge right there. But from the summit there, it's supposed to be a pretty good view of the area. But you can see they have a few places marked as viewpoints. So yeah, we're just gonna kind of get into it and see what we see. Bridge to nowhere. So it's a suspension bridge, right? There's the cables that come here, but the bridge isn't attached. Ooh. It is very spongy though. Oh, there's cables running underneath. Does not sound that great. Ooh. So, yeah, the suspension, the cabling's underneath. That's pretty wild. Do you see how it's suspended?
No.
From underneath.
From underneath?
Yeah, like I looked over there and you can see the cables.
Yeah.
Just go to the pillars. But if you look under here.
Oh yeah, they're underneath.
That's pretty interesting.
I guess it's one way of testing a bridge, just do it where there's nothing to really go over.
Yeah. Ooh. Just it's like literally like two planks, and it's easy to like slip down in between them. What we got in front of us, we have the village of Lake Placid. We have a white face towering over it in the back. Those two bodies of water. The nearest one to us is Mirror Lake. The one in the back is Lake Placid itself. Not a bad view. It's one of the reminders up here, you don't have to do the high peaks if you still want to hike and get a nice view. Ah, this is terrible. I'm ready to go home.
Seriously, the next time you're like, you want to go to the Adirondack? You're like, no.
Ah,
Are you serious?
it's gorgeous, and we're so close to town, and like a few roads nearby. So quiet. You hear like one car. We have about 3/10 and then we're done. This was actually a really good hike. This spot I just found by using OnX Backcountry. They have like a hunting version and they have a few different versions of their app, but when I was looking for random hikes, I didn't have my paper map with me, so I just used their app, and we learned that their app showed trails that we didn't know of that aren't on the other map we have. So today Kurt and I found another map at the lodge's like store information center, and so we got paper maps that with our other maps are pretty comprehensive of covering the area, so it'll be really nice for planning future trips. But for just seeing the spot on the map and be like, oh, that's not a bad distance, there's some views, it's really nice. We did most of the green loop. We went on the red trail to go up to that little summit area, and on the way on the back side of the green loop, Kurt remembered the yellow loop, the plateau trail, had two vistas off of it. So the last two nice vistas we had were from there. So this was awesome, especially considering, like, I don't know what time you woke up, but I was up at 3 this morning. Just so we could get on the road and get up here at a reasonable time. So I think this hike was perfect. Had just enough elevation gain to get us warmed up after being in the car and not really moving around except for setting up camp. And yeah, good views, good everything. Really nice section of woods to walk through. But that's it for this hike. No idea what we're doing next. We're just kind of going with the flow on this trip. We just kind of have an idea, and then we'll see what tomorrow brings. I wasn't gonna do the start of the camp video tonight. I was gonna do it tomorrow, but it's day one. Well, the end of day one. We started our day at 3 a.m. Drove up to the Adirondacks. Got here probably a little bit after 10:30. Checked in, set up our camp. Now we rented a lean-to that's further away from the lake, because last year we had like some crazy winds whipping through, which was fine, but what we're doing this year is a little different. So being on the East Coast, we just got done with a really crazy cold snap of a good run of unusually cold temperatures for the area where we live. But we are concerned about that carrying on up here. Now tonight, the low is -3.
That's what you say.
How cold is it right now outside? 6?
6.
All right. So, what are we in? That is clearly not the hammock tarp. It's not exactly a tent either. It's the best of both worlds. I've been wanting to dive into hot tent camping, and that's what we got. This is a hot tent tarp. And considering most hot tents don't come with a floor from what I've seen, why worry about having a floor? But that's our stove that I picked up. It's the King Camp. I have their inflatable cot that I like, which I'm using for this trip. But this sucker is like 9.5 feet long, I think, and like if you get the full proper pitch, it's like 6.5 feet wide. We did not get the full proper pitch because directly behind me is the lean-to, but we managed to get it. We rearranged it a few times, but we got it good to where we're both in here on cots. The this is a more sloped campsite than what we've used in the past. This is now the 3rd different campsite we've used up here. And even if we had our hammocks, it wouldn't exactly be hammock friendly. So the reason why I decided not to wait till tomorrow to do camp video is ever since we got this sucker going, neither of us have hot tent camped before. And we loaded up, got it started. Well, didn't load it up. We got it started with, like, you know, your standard starter wood for a fire. And we started cutting wood. And I just, like, loaded it up with what I could and just left it go. So we got our thermo drops. We have one inside and one outside. The one outside says it's 6 degrees outside. The one in here said it was 61, which is crazy.
Is it still 61?
I don't know. We're gonna find out.
62.
Nope, it is 62 degrees in here. Oh man, where's your thermo drop outside?
Yeah, it's right next to the number plaque on the side.
Okay, hey, could you hold this a second?
Yeah. Oh, it's gonna be cold.
Yep. Oh, and your head's right by
Right
it.
next to the door.
You said it's by the number plaque?
Yeah.
Okay, and then, yeah, outside, 6 degrees. And you can see, like, the shelter is right here. But, yeah, like, there's the drop-off. So, it's really not that great for, like, a big tent either. But, yeah, ooh.
There's a difference out there, right?
Yeah. Yeah, 6 degrees and 63 in here. But yes, this is what we're looking at. So this is, you can see Kurt's cot, my cot, and the stove is over there. And like I said, we had that sucker ripping earlier. It's died down a bit, but when it was going really good, there was some concern over the cot setup, especially like with like my inflatable pad here. But even when that thing was going full bore, I didn't feel like any real heat on the pad. So even though it's done a really good job heating up this space, the immediate area around it, it's warm, but it's not throwing like a dangerous level of heat where I'm worried about it causing damage. Even the tent walls are doing pretty good. I mean, it's designed for it, but it's one of those things I don't like to just assume it's going to be okay, because you just never know. But yeah, hot tent experience off to a good start. We are equipped to be fine if that stove goes out. It is fully my intent to keep it going through the night just to see how it does, see how long it burns off of the wood we got before it needs to be reloaded. But in all honesty, knowing myself, I'm probably going to pass out and just be out. So we'll see. But yeah, that's it. Tomorrow, when it's daylight, give you guys a better tour. But the temperature, like tonight's the coldest night that we're supposed to have here. So I couldn't pass up the opportunity to show you guys the temperature difference. It's a really good, really good showing of what this thing's performing at the moment. But, yep, see you guys tomorrow.